Hello YouTube, this is Britain Lover 431 here, and this is part 1 of my antique book collection. We'll start off with a 1902 copy of the works of F. Hopkinson Smith, La Guerre and Well-Worn Roads. This is volume 1. Here's the title page. Printed in New York. Here we have The Magnificent Ambersons by Booth Tarkington. And this book was printed in 1918. Here we have Christ and Christmas and Poems. And this was printed around 1921 and 1925. Printed by the First Church of Christ Scientist in Boston, Massachusetts. Here we have Poetical Favorites, Yours and Mine. Printed in 1910. Here's the title page, and here it says, "To my sisters, who ever since I was 10 years old have listened with so much patience to my reciting of poetry." Most likely written by Warren Snyder, who made this book. This is kind of hard to see, but this is called The New Chardonnay by Grosjean, which is, and this is an old French book for school. Printed in 1957. Here's the title page. Hopefully you can see it. Most of these books I got at the thrift shop where I got the records. Here we have A Short History of Art by Julia DeForest. And inside there are a few signatures. Someone signed it. named Grace Morgan signed this book on April 5th, 1920. And the book was printed in 1913. Here's the chapter page. Here we have Nedra by George Barr McCutcheon. Very nice cover. And this was printed in 1905. Here we have Coniston by Winston Churchill. Not the Prime Minister Winston Churchill, but an author named Winston Churchill. And it was printed in 1906 by the Macmillan Company. Here is English Poetry, Its Principles and Progress by Gailey and Young. Also has some signatures and notes that were written in this book. I got this at the thrift shop as well. And this was printed in 1910 by the Macmillan Company as well. Here is a 1948 copy of the LDS hymnal. Here's the title page. Here we have a book about Lourdes, which is where Our Lady of Lourdes was said to have appeared to Bernadette. And it was printed in 1894. Don't know whether you could see it, but I'll try to. There we go. Here we have a really nice book, and it's The Life of Christ by the Reverend John Fleetwood. Very nice engraving on this page of Jesus Christ during the Last Supper. And it also talks about the lives and sufferings of his the 12 Apostles. This was printed in 1889 by the Keystone Publishing Company. When I found this book, it was sitting in a cardboard box just outside the thrift shop. I was working there at the time, and I just couldn't stand seeing it sitting out. It was during the summertime, so it was very hot. And and so I asked them to sell it. And so after they priced it, I bought it. At least it's got a good home. Here we have Goethe, which is a German book. Printed in 1885 in the city of Stuttgart in Germany. I also got it at the same thrift shop where I got the other book. Here we have a couple of stories. Kenilworth and St. Ronan's Well. By Sir Walter Scott. Also printed in 1885. Here's the Kenilworth. Let me see if I can make the date larger. There. I got this book at a bookstore in Provo, Utah, at the Provo Mall. Got it for nearly $20, so it was well worth it. Here's another book by a French author, George Sand. That was the pen name. And I got it at the same bookshop. And it was printed in 1870. This is the English translation, Mopra. And Madame du Devant. She is the author of this book. And she even signed on the first page. So that was really interesting to find. I'll be right back. I'm back. I just wanted to show off a few more books that I have. Here's an old leather-bound book, Paris by Sunlight and Gaslight. In the preface of the book, I didn't break it, and it was how I got it. But the preface is dated December 25th, 1869. I might consider getting it bound. Here is a book I got from eBay. And it is a collection of the general statutes of public general statutes passed in the 10th and 11th year of the reign of Queen Victoria, printed in 1847. Really is quite an interesting book. I've read through it a few times. Here is an old German hymnal from 1837. I got it at a antique shop in Spanish Fork, Utah, when I was visiting my aunt who lives up there. It's signed twice at the beginning. Don't know whether you could read it. One it's signed in 1830. One person signed it in 1838. Then a second one dated it, signed it in 1850. And here is the title page of the book. Here's a very old prayer book in the Czech language, and it was printed in 1810. This book has some really nice engravings inside. I'll show you a few. Here's one. Here's another one. This I also got from eBay, and it's really, really lovely for its age. Then here is one of my extremely old books, which I also got at the thrift shop. where I got a lot of the other books. This is called The Foundation and History of the Law of Nations in Europe. And it was printed in 1795 in Dublin. I've read through it a few times. It mostly talks about like Roman law and like pretty much just the general history of the law in Europe. This has been part 1 of my antique book collection. This was Print and Lover 431, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching.